Welcome to your astrological natal and progress chart report. This is the peace dealer. I decided that I'm going to put both of these together in one report, and I sincerely hope you enjoy this report. Cause already right off the bat, you definitely have a very amazing and royal chart. And I really enjoy going into progressions because of how relevant they are. So yeah, here's to you not only enjoying this, but getting what you paid for, amongst other things. One thing I want to mention is you being born in the 82, 83 year, and the 82 throughout 83 is legendary to me. And it's one of the years I want to do a documentary on, because Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune is such a rare alignment to come together. This is also when Pluto is getting ready to go into Scorpio. 83 is a very iconic and important year. It's so ironic too, because I didn't realize until now, when Pluto is ready to go into Sagittarius, Jupiter was back into Sag around like 95. I didn't even realize that. I'm going to see if there's something to do with the Jupiter cycle and Pluto, but you having Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune, it's one of those aspects. I literally have like a database of near 3,000 charts, a little bit over 2,000 and counting, right? So like every time I see these type of charts, it's always ridiculous. Like the reading is always supernatural, or at least my understanding of it is such an amazing concept and aspect to me. And the people who I met with this helped me see it from beyond a theory to you actually living it. Like from reading it on paper, on the chart, I knew what it meant, but I didn't necessarily know what it looked like. And it wasn't until talking to people like you born in 83, especially with the North Node in Gemini, Jesus Christ. This is a little bit different. You're the first one I saw with the South Node on your sun in Capricorn. So that makes it a little bit even more powerful. But yeah, this is one of the advancements of consciousness before 1990, 88 and 89, where we see Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, but with Saturn. And that's why I like this aspect, because it bears striking resemblance to 1990 in that you have these outer planets with the ruling planet in the sign. The other version after this is Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius, where of course Uranus is Aquarius, and then I think Uranus and Neptune in Pisces, but Neptune never catches up to Pisces after Uranus leaves Pisces. So realistically, it was really just the Sagittarius Cap Aquaset, and that's the beginning of godhood. So I just wanted to set that reading off there, because seeing that you were born as a golden director, as High Queen Angi, all right, we're not going to play around here. We're not going to play around here. We see you have your rising 28 degrees. That's next to the 29 degree Leo, 0 degree Virgo, Archangel Raphael, fixed star of Regulus. That is Drake, President Trump. They both have 29 degree risings. Like I've quickly learned that is not a rising degree to play with. Everyone who I've ever even met in person, I've met a Pisces sun with this. One of the most dopest people I've ever met without even trying. Like, you guys are legit. You guys are freaking legit. You guys are legit. You guys have one of the most awesome personalities ever. And now I realize it's because it's connected to my brother Raphael. Let me not say my brother, but it's connected to Angel Raphael. And then you also have your 6 degree Uranus next to Uriel, okay, at 9 degrees. Your DC is within proximity of Gabriel at like 8 degrees Pisces. And Michael is going to be 9 degrees Gemini. But we're going to talk about Regulus, because for you to have your rising there is a huge deal. It's a very huge deal. It's a good look. It's a great attainment. It's a master personality. You have a 27-degree natural royal Taurus rising. You have a 28-degree mastered solar royal rising. The solar queen, right? The main, and Leo risings are the main character. So it's really cool that your moon is in the same sign as your rising, albeit like give or take 26 degrees away, which gives you hidden understanding of your personality in ways that sometimes you may wear your heart or soul on your sleeve. But what's really amazing about the timing is that the square between the moon and Saturn at this perfect degree speaks to the emotional inhibition that the pure, emotionally intelligent facet of your psychology, extremely influenced by Pluto here on the third house cusp, can either through trust issues or extreme social influences that clash with how you feel, almost push your soul back into the spiritual closet. Behind the AC is going to be the quality of you that holds back what's ever in there versus anything after the AC that you freely express, right? So, for example, my Mercury is right on my AC and I freely express my communication, but my Venus is behind it. I don't really share my heart. It's more a hidden talent. With the moon here, it makes you super psychic. But with the moon here, you're understanding like a hidden camera the quality of people's authenticity and how sincere they may be or courageous. But that square to Saturn, once again, I have Saturn exactly on my moon. So Saturn squares, conjunctions, oppositions literally constipate the soul. And Leo that needs this exuberant fanfare and attention, right? Not in a superficial way. It's the performer on stage, right? So you need to feel that you've, connected with that audience. You need to feel that sense of, passion. Saturn is going to inhibit the crap out of this. I mean, ever since you've had your Saturn return, you're overcoming with the opposition in Aquarius more how to feel into this. But that square is kind of nasty. I'm not going to lie. Especially with Pluto, there's an extreme fear of expressing your true feelings because people would just overreact. God forbid you let out the dramatic Leo fire. People act like you were being hyper narcissist when really you're the queen. Okay, don't ever let anyone forget that you're the queen. And for Leo, whereas Scorpio rising, I say give him the death stare. Leo rising, you got to give him the hair flip. Kiss the ring, hair flip. But see, we know that as this personality, your sun is in Capricorn. So this makes you the golden director. This is very interesting because as the spirit of the director, right, you have the personality and the understanding of the main character. It's like you're directing the movie, but you identify with the main character. So you understand how to direct the main character of the movie. Or if we go by rising, you are the main character, but I like to go by sun sign for affinity, right? It's like you identify with the main character. But no, I like to go by rising too. You are the main character, but you express your spirit like a director would. I'm going to have these interchangeable, but because this falls in the 5th house with the majority of Virgo as your first using the equal sign system, this is going to set up the incredible quality of creativity that you really put discipline or hard work into everything you love doing that now is not only aligned with how you build your routine. You having 29 degrees Mercury on the 6th house cusp is masterfully incredible. That's what you and I both have in common. We both have 29-degree Mercuries. In fact, I have a 24-degree Saturn in Cap where your Venus is. But my 29-degree Mercury is in Taurus. the individual 2 to 5 year old sign that's stubborn as yes, but it gives me a strong mind. You have 29 degrees Capricorn. This is like at the age 60s. And it's the most powerful mind you can have. On top of that, if we're just talking Mercury, on top of that, you have this square 29 degrees Libra. So you have this extremely powerful ability to psychoanalyze the integrity of people's actions in a way that also unveils, hidden insights relative to how people socialize and how your thoughts influence your social attitude, your extreme social attitude and abilities, and how you integrate this extreme social attitude with Pluto in the third, extreme social Libra attitude, third house, with how you ground this into a very practical lifestyle. 29 degrees Mercury is no joke. Like, this is the supreme quality of processing your brain function that powerfully in Capricorn aligns with this sense of practicality connected to your heart at 24 degrees Capricorn, which polishes more the beauty of how you express this. So it's like, if Capricorn in the sixth house is the ultra disciplined or very organized lifestyle, and Mercury, your 29 degree cerebral apex, is at a very intense level, able to just plan your day out with the sun, you're directing things. Venus is going to be the creative facet in the fifth that polishes this lifestyle, literally makes it look beautiful. If it wasn't Venus there, it would look more Spartan. It would be very organized, but like, it would still be rough around the edges. Venus takes care of that. So you're clean. Like, this is really nice. Of course, you're a main character. Okay. But like, still, I have to respect this. Like, this is really legit. And now on top of that, you also have Pluto square this. This is super rare. This can induce a lot of stress because it also connects with your moon, the hidden insights that you glean psychically and intuitively. You have a practical way of processing it so it brings it out of the intangible in ways that you can actually point out through how you draw receipts and show people physically. So now if we take this in account with Sagittarius, which with this Neptune, Uranus of extra dimensional facets and Jupiter of evolution, this expands the quality of how creatively you can see literal visions. But now 12th house to your Capricorn sun makes this a supernatural magic ability. And because it's going to be unconscious to your sun, there's a way that, the meaning of experiences can show themselves to you without you even looking for them, through synchronicities, through you literally visualizing things and then directing them as a facet of your lifestyle. You really got it like that. And Chiron that's on your MC in Taurus is not only linking healing to your legacy, but this eclipse in Taurus season that we're in right now is fundamentally activating that before Jupiter evolves this. As a main character, getting ready to level up your legacy and the foundation of values with which you're able to heal everyone around you with. Of course, as a Capricorn, you're going to be aware of this facet of your career as what you're creative at producing. And Mars in Aquarius will literally speak to your ability to think outside the box in the eccentric and detached ways you take action, knowledgeable action, moving forward, which connected to the seventh house enables you to take unconventional action with other people. But trying the Sagittarius energy enables you to now take action off the knowledge of what these claircognizant flash insights and visions may be. Okay. Very badass. Very badass. I would definitely like for you to have compassion with yourself, because it's very easy for us Saturn moons to be so difficult to ourselves. Like the Saturn Scorpio Pluto is overprotection to protect you from the callous nuances of interpersonal social experiences where people can take advantage of how golden your soul is and unconditionally loving it is. Scorpio is going to be that pure energy that's like, don't be weak, you know what I'm saying? Or be discerning. And Pluto's just going to be extremely vicious, but it's also going to represent this extremely psychoanalytical facet of your attitude that enables you to like literally see the X-ray matrix codes and how you can break down the nature of someone's character based on how they socialize with you, amongst other things. Now, if we look at your progress chart, let's get to the good stuff, because your progress chart moves a day every year and the moon moves a degree every month. Let's even go into the fact that not only are you on the verge of kicking off a new moon in Aquarius, which is going to be glorious for you, but you're getting ready to oppose your natal moon. The progressed moon conjunct your natal moon and opposite the natal moon, and that cycle with it is very important relative to the progressed sun. And you really gain the most insight of the progressed report through the lunar cycle. So I'm on the verge of completing my full moon progressed. I was born a Gemini sun. I progressed my sun into Cancer, and 2017 was when my moon was opposite in Capricorn. 2001, 9/11, the year of 9/11, was actually when I had my new moon in Cancer progression. And that was the year that I got sent to Nigeria to go to boarding school with what was supposed to be the rest of my schooling career, but God had other plans. So knowing that that happened at the new moon progressed made me look at the significance of how relevant these cycles are versus 17 years later, 2017, right? Or 16 years later at 2017, where now I'm having the full moon in Capricorn. And relative to 2023, now that I'm completing that 7-year harvest cycle from full moon to third quarter square, the full moon is where you're going to come into the most success that you'll come into that cycle. What that looked like for me was I never had to work a job again. Like ever since that point, I've been working on my own, like making more than enough money. And so that was the reward for what work I put in. That's what I harvested. And so that's going to lead into the completion phase after this, where I reap those rewards. And I have to mention that because you are on the verge of completing the completion phase. Okay. You stepped in that completion phase, moon in Scorpio, progressed. Remember, your moon is progressed 22 degrees Cap, and it takes a month to move a degree. So in 8 months from now, you're going to be progressed moon in Aqua. The last time I had progressed moon in Capricorn, I was booked and busy, unbelievably. That's what led to me making the first year I made 6 figures. But Jesus Christ, I was so booked. I was working with a Capricorn lady too, who helped me achieve this success. But it really taught me a lot about hard work and integrity. And personally, everyone who I've ever heard go through a Capricorn progression is also busy as well. So I feel like since your rising is 29 degrees Virgo, you're an absolute master right now. Because you're getting ready to progress into Libra, this Aquarius chapter is setting in this sense of creativity relative to the knowledge with which you can create with. This Libra risings with 5th house Aquarius to me is lyricism, science, really cultivating knowledge in creative ways. It could even be acting, right? Anything that's really collective based. But it's very interesting to see this element of the progression for you. You've progressed into Aquarius, which means that when you were born right after the full moon in Cancer. So that you were born, with that Libra signature until 10 degrees Leo, where you had the Scorpio signature. Technically, you're like a dirty Scorpio signature, transformer. Welcome to the club. And once the moon was in Capricorn, the last time the moon was in Capricorn was when you started your new moon cycle. I want to say maybe around 14, 15. Then the sun progressed into Aquarius, and you had the full moon in Leo opposite Aquarius. That led to the moon in Scorpio. And after you've harvested this, now you are completing it. And at this stage of completion, relative to the old cycle, This is the balsamic phase that you literally just started, by the way, mathematically, 21 degrees. So last month is when you started clearing the field. This is a very interesting period where things could be dark moving forward. You may not feel what you're meant to do moving forward because you're supposed to surrender to inaction completely. There's nothing for you to do. You have literally finished harvesting the field. But, that can feel very frustrating as you're having to hold out faith to prepare for this next cycle of new seeds to unfold. But see, that's why in your intuitive genius, you ordered this reading from the peace dealer. So let me actually just fill you in. If we go to 2025, we're going to see that the moon is going to be in Aquarius. So 15 plus 8, that means 2026. I want to say the beginning of 2026, like January. Oh, yeah. 27, April. So literally January. January to February of 2026 is where you're going to have the new moon in Aquarius. Now, let me tell you something. Aquarius progressions, it's my theory that 15 degrees Aquarius to 15 degrees Pisces is the progression sweet spot. It doesn't get any better. Like, you're literally in heaven. So congratulations. I think this is going to be the most significant. And now let's actually go into this. So 2026 is going to be the new cycle for you. This is where you plant the new seeds of knowledge. Your rising is going to be in Libra. This is going to be at the tail end of Aquarius before you start to make the dream life real. 6th house to the rising. So the reason why I want to really emphasize this like that is because relative to this new cycle, this is a new cycle of extraordinary creative knowledge that's going to lead into you using this knowledgeable cycle and seeds to actively manifest your dreams into your lifestyle relative to the rising. As an artist now, you were born solar queen, you became a master, and now you're about to become an artist, Libra rising. So the reason why I want to speak to that is if we now kind of analyze more this balsamic phase, before you get into that, you're just releasing and transcending the understanding of the direction to take your life. And then once this goes in Aquarius, progress moon and aquas, you literally gain knowledge. So you're going to gain knowledge of what, of the knowledge that you're manifesting. But now let's bring significance. The significance of Capricorn progressing into Aquarius. First of all, when you progress into Libra, the sun is at its fall. It's reminiscent of Lucifer. So you go into Scorpio to gain purity through the underworld. Then after the purification process, right, you ascend into godhood, progressed in a Sag. This is all based on the sun, spiritual progression. Then after you have ascended into godhood, you graduate. Capricorn is the axis of graduation, where based on the principle of Jupiter of expansion that helps you see everything. The Capricorn equation is the power of God. So now it's the responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. If you are born a Capricorn sun, it's like being a TA, right? So you were born graduated. That's why it's such a huge deal to be born with anything Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces. It's the elite. It's the elite. You were born spiritually elite. So now you have progressed into ascended mastery. Ascended mastery comes in the form of knowledge in Aquarius. And then after you pass that, you become the ascended master in Pisces. Virgo is the master. Sagittarius is ascended. Well, Pisces is the ascended master versus Virgo, which is the master, right? Past the portal of ascension in Sag, where you become the ascended master. So Aquarius is the knowledge. It's kind of like being a TA after you graduate school in Capricorn and you start to be a humanitarian in Aquarius and gain knowledge, but you're entering a spiritual heaven space. And so I would love your insight on that, of how you experience that. Sure, it may still be challenging, but I really love to honor that because it's still very relevant in the way it plays out and how it plays out. So personally, what this really also opens up is this element of course, not only at the final decade of this transit, the mastery of your awareness of this knowledge, but just know that Capricorn element, you just want to surrender to. Don't feel like you have to know what's happening, because Aquarius is knowledge. Once that new moon kicks off, you'll come into understanding of knowledge of what to release, but just keep that mindset. It'll help release frustration, because this is just the cycle that you're going to be stepping into. Mars, that was in Aquarius, is now in Pisces. Venus, that was in Capricorn, gained knowledge through Aquarius and is now exalted in Pisces. So this is manifesting the divine quality, second house to your knowledgeable Aqua Sun, of the knowledge of your spirit, which produces a lot of magic. And it's going to be like the crayons you can draw to create more through your imagination, your lifestyle. Then, of course, Mercury seems to have retrograded, because now it seems to have retrograded, seems to have entered Aqua, retrograded, gone back, gone direct, and now it's getting ready to surpass your planets. It's just gone over Venus, and so as it goes over Mercury again, this is going to realign your mind to return back to the sense of mastery as someone who's reevaluated relative to, recent awakenings and whatnot. And it'd be interesting to see when eventually Neptune moves into Capricorn, which these solar planets move slow in the progression. So that might happen for another few years. But yeah, I mean, that in a nutshell is your natal chart and progression. Your legacy that was in Taurus is now mastered in Gemini, which is reflecting this 29-degree mastery of personality. So you are on the verge of literally not only shifting the lever, but your legacy is about to meet your destiny. And you're about to be doing what you're meant to do more than ever. All right. Very key, especially since you were born carrying all this integral power from a past life, developed in early childhood, to use the resources of your own integrity to sincerely engage with others publicly. Woo! I hope you enjoyed this report. Definitely looking forward to your feedback. I respect everything Aquarius, and my moon is in Capricorn, so I feel you. And when you progress into Aquarius, it's in this final stage of godhood, teaching you compassion and dealing with mortal beings and humanity. Because Aquarius are the librarians whose office is the library. And knowledge is recorded in these books. Truth gained through experience with Gemini. But like, you librarians are really the only ones that know anything. So like, you're the only ones who really could be trusted for legitimate knowledge. And that could be very frustrating to deal with, especially when people treat you like you're weird, because they're not aware of the higher minded collective humanitarian sociological principles that you are at your cosmic level. And now that you sextile this Sagittarius magic, a lot of what was unconscious to you during the Capricorn progression, you're now coming into more awareness of knowledge through experience of what it is you're experiencing. So once again, definitely looking forward to your feedback. I think your chart is splendid. And the most important thing I can tell you as the moon goes over Mercury is you're going to understand the evolution of how much more powerful your brain processes post-retrograde. And the next 8 months will prepare you for that Aquarius progression. So as you have just begun clearing the field so that you can prepare in another 2.5 years to plant new seeds, be ready to just surrender. Don't feel like you have to do anything. Surrender to needing to know what to do. Surrender to the greatest part of you that, is guiding you forward. Because through this dark chapter, it's like you're in between worlds. And once you realize there's nothing you have to do because you literally just harvested a whole field of crops already, this will help you embrace the new cycle that will, once the moon goes in Aquarius, literally fill you in with an understanding of knowledge the whole way, and opposite the moon, help you complete the natal courageous golden quality of your soul with the level of knowledge and detachment to have both intellect and passion. You stay blessed as always, Queen. And until next time, peace.